For years, Henry Cavill's name was synonymous with Superman. His portrayal in Man of Steel, 2013, earned him both critical praise and an international fanbase that saw him as the modern embodiment of the iconic hero. Hello viewers. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more videos. But in a stunning twist of fate, that same role, and the public reaction surrounding it, nearly shattered his career and personal confidence. What began as a triumphant return quickly spiraled into betrayal, public backlash, and emotional exhaustion. And the now infamous phrase, "Not my Superman," became a battle cry that divided fandoms and put Cavill in the direct line of fire. The rise of the Superman savior. When Henry Cavill first donned the red cape in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, he was welcomed with open arms. His physicality, gravitas, and quiet vulnerability gave Superman a grounded humanity that hadn't been seen since Christopher Reeve. Fans across the globe celebrated the casting. For a time, Cavill was the chosen one. The praise reached its peak after the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021. His return in that cut, complete with the iconic black suit, sparked renewed enthusiasm and led to a massive online campaign, #RestoreTheSnyderverse, calling for DC to bring back the original cast and storyline. At the center of this movement stood Cavill, the face of hope, strength, and redemption. Then, everything collapsed. Just a year later, Cavill announced on Instagram that he was officially returning as Superman. His fans rejoiced. Memes flooded the internet. Even celebrities tweeted their support. But the celebration was short-lived. Within weeks, newly appointed DC Studios heads James Gunn and Peter Safran announced a total reboot of the DC universe, confirming that they would not move forward with Cavill as Superman. Instead, a younger actor would take on the mantle in Gunn's upcoming Superman, Legacy. Cavill was out. The internet exploded. "Not my Superman." The movement turns. At first, the phrase, "Not my Superman," was a show of solidarity from Cavill fans toward the studio, an angry protest over his dismissal. But it didn't stay that way for long. As Cavill began doing press for other projects, some fans began picking apart his interviews. His measured, polite tone was interpreted as robotic or ungrateful. His refusal to throw shade at James Gunn or Warner Brothers was seen by some as weakness, or worse, betrayal. In fan forums and comment sections, the tide began to turn. "He was never Superman to me," wrote one viral user. "Too wooden. No warmth. They should have recast years ago." Suddenly, the same people who once lifted him up were tearing him down. The personal toll. Sources close to Cavill revealed that this period was one of the most emotionally draining in his career. After years of fighting for the role, navigating studio politics, and enduring online harassment from rival fandoms, to be publicly rejected and then criticized by his own supporters was a brutal blow. "He put his heart into that role," one friend said anonymously. To see people call him replaceable or cold, it cut deep, especially after how much he sacrificed. Cavill reportedly took time off, stepped away from social media, and leaned on close friends and family to recover. At one point, he considered walking away from major franchises entirely, instead focusing on indie projects or a full return to the gaming and Warhammer world he loves. A glimmer of redemption. Though Superman, Legacy has begun production with a new actor, the shadow of Cavill's version still looms large. Recent polls show a significant portion of the DC fandom still prefers Cavill's Superman, and petitions for his return continue to circulate. In the meantime, Amazon's Warhammer 40K series, which Cavill will star in and executive produce, has given him creative control and a second chance. Many see it as his redemption arc, a franchise led on his terms, free from studio interference. The final verdict. Whether Cavill ever dons the cape again is uncertain. But one thing is clear, the phrase, "Not my Superman," will forever haunt this chapter of his life. A phrase born from admiration, twisted into criticism, and ultimately symbolic of the emotional cost of playing a hero in the real world. In the end, Cavill may not be everyone's Superman. But for millions, he will always be their Superman, the one who stood tall when the world tried to bring him down.
Cavill was born in Jersey, the largest and southernmost of the Channel Islands, which are dependent territories of the British Crown and are located off the coast of Normandy, France. He is the fourth of 5 sons of Marianne Cavill, née Dalgliesh, a secretary, and Colin Cavill, a stockbroker. The family lived in St. Helier, where Henry Cavill grew up playing computer games with his brothers. At age 13, he left Jersey to attend the Stowe School, a boarding school in Buckinghamshire, England. At Stowe, Cavill developed an interest in acting and participated in school productions, including Grease, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Tom Stoppard's Dog's Hamlet. At age 16, he and his classmates had the opportunity to be extras in the movie Proof of Life, 2000, starring Russell Crowe. While on set, Cavill introduced himself to the recent Oscar winner, who encouraged him to pursue acting professionally. Cavill soon landed a role in Vendetta, 2001, followed by another in Kevin Reynolds' big-screen adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo, 2002. For the part of Albert Mandego, Cavill, who has said that he was teased for being overweight as a kid, was encouraged to lose several pounds. In addition, Cavill had guest roles in a number of British television shows as well as supporting parts in the coming-of-age film I Capture the Castle, 2003, and an adaptation of the Celtic romance Tristan plus Isolde, 2006. During this period, Cavill auditioned for several iconic roles, including Superman and James Bond, which ultimately went to Brandon Routh in Superman Returns and Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, both 2006, respectively. Those setbacks led him to consider following in the footsteps of 2 of his elder brothers and joining the armed forces. In 2007, however, Cavill garnered his first leading role in The Tudors, a cable series following the exploits of Henry VIII, played by Irish actor Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Cavill portrayed Charles Brandon, a loyal courtier to the king. The series helped make Cavill a familiar face, and during its 4 seasons, 2007 to 10, he also appeared in such films as the adventure fantasy Stardust, 2007, and the Woody Allen comedy Whatever Works, 2009. After The Tudors, Cavill proved his skill as an action star, playing Greek hero Theseus in Immortals, 2011, and the son of a CIA agent, played by Bruce Willis, in The Cold Light of Day, 2012. In 2011, Cavill announced that he had been cast as Clark Kent/Superman in Man of Steel, 2013. He later admitted that he had missed the call from director Zack Snyder offering him the job because he had been playing the online game World of Warcraft. To portray the Man of Steel, Cavill transformed his body, adding so much muscle that he sometimes split the seams of his Superman costume. He also had the opportunity to work alongside Crowe, who played Superman's father. Jor-El. Cavill went on to reprise the role in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, 2016, starring opposite Ben Affleck as Batman, and in Justice League, 2017, featuring such DC comic book heroes as Wonder Woman, played by Israeli actress Gal Gadot. In between Superman films, Cavill starred in director Guy Ritchie's big-screen adaptation of The Man from UNCLE,